What is fear? You see, Webster's dictionary defines it as, I'm scared, bruh. But I define it as the creepy girl that sits in the corner of my room every night as I go to sleep. But that doesn't matter because what matters is the fear we see in our daily lives, the fear we consume through television, books, and podcasts alike. We love it, we enjoy it, we consume it with the primordial rage of a demon itself. We have to have it. And you see in the video game industries that have been tried throughout the years. Now, Resident Evil wasn't the first to do it, but it was the first to perfect it in the eyes of many because old Shinji Mikami had himself an idea. Originally, he was going to make an FPS-based game, much like the works of Doom. He thought that he could make a horror-style thing for that genre, be the Duke Nukem of fear himself. But you see, he was developing a game for a potato of a console that was a piece of trash called the PlayStation 1. Now, if I hurt you with my slander against the PlayStation 1, I don't much care because I think it was a piece of trash. The controller didn't even have joysticks. Grow up. Because we're not here to talk about your childhood, we're talking about the man in the game itself. You see, he ended up creating a game with stagnant camera angles, and he created something remarkable, something amazing that jump-started the survival horror genre. The man pulled out his big old willy and threw it on our foreheads, and we were ready for it. And after this, we got 2 more sequels, creating the Resident Evil trilogy. Then, and only then, did he come back during the GameCube, Xbox Original, and PS2 era to release a remake in his definitive edition of Resident Evil 1. And that, my boys and girls, is what we're talking about today. Well, sort of. We're sort of talking about that version because they later released an HD version which was ported to other consoles other than the GameCube, and that's the version I played due to it being given to me by Xbox years ago on the Xbox Gold program when that still existed. That being said, whether you play the remake or the HD remake, one thing's for certain, this game looks gorgeous on both ends, and that was the intended goal. You see, Shinji Mikami wanted this game to look almost as good as a movie. That was their design, and with the success of the first 3 games, he was allowed the budget to do so, and he finally had a machine that wasn't a potato on steroids, which was the PlayStation 1, to create it for. So he was fully given the chance to create something he dreamed of creating. And when the game released, not only him, but critics and users alike all agreed in the same sentiment that this was his masterpiece. This was perfect. This was even better than the original Resident Evil. I mean, talk about a big dick move. I mean, most of the time when it comes to remakes, it's either a shell of what the original was, where a ton of content gets cut, it's a tighter experience, but a lot of sacrifice to make that tight little pussy of a new game. So it tends to make people mad. They're happy with the loosey-goosey frame of the original. They want that hot dog down a hallway experience that they had originally. But this game gave you both the tight pussy and the feeling of something that you've worn in. And how do I know this? How do I know this is fact? Well, you go to any video talking about this game and look at the comments, what people say. They will agree with this sentiment. You go to the neckbeard incel world of Reddit and dive deep into the comments, you will find the same sentiment ring again, that this is the magnum opus of the Capcom remakes. This is God tier. And I gave Shinji Mikami a fair amount of glazing. I mean, this poor boy has been bukkakied. And I agreed that he had done something culturally amazing and really impactful to the gaming industry. The fact that this man could go into 2 games, an original and a remake, and both break the mold is impressive. The fact that he knew going into this game that he finally had the opportunity to make the prettiest game, honestly, of this generation. There is not a lot that can compete with how good this game looked. And then on top of that, not only make the game prettier, but also expand the game to new depths, explore new storylines, all in the encompassing world of the first story. That is impressive, and that, sir, deserves a good shake of the penis for you. A gold flick of the clit. I appreciate that. And there's no time that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to shit on his work into this game, because you can see it in every single inch of this beautiful mansion he has crafted. I mean, you look at the original game compared to this, it's not even comparable. It is night and day different in terms of like beauty and scope, while still encompassing what made the original great in a lot of people's eyes, which is no easy task. And I have to again give old Flick of the Clit to that sentiment. That is impressive. That is amazing. I appreciate you, sir. But when I play this game, there are some things that hold me back. There is going to be some issues that I personally have with this attempt at greatness. I do not like the original trilogy of Resident Evil. It's not ever going to be for me. I don't like that really pixelated garbage look. I don't mind it when a game's using it for an art style now, but it feels more modernized. I feel like those are a little more playable, but you will never catch me going out and buying a PS1 and playing that piece of trash for its original games. It's not a console that I have any sort of nostalgia for. I don't care about its generation, other than its impact on the gaming industry. I will give credit where it's due, but that does not mean that I have to change my opinions as a gamer and mold it because I say the sentiment online. I am not going to be some sort of fucking loser sheep that just, oh, well, people like this, so I can't talk about why I don't like it. I'm not that guy. I'm not a fucking Dreamcast guy who's just here to tell you what you want to fucking hear. That is a loser mentality in my opinion, and that's where you get into echo chambers. And what does that mean? What does that mean for this game in particular when I don't like the original 3? Well, the main reason why I will never like the original 3 is because of the locked camera angles. For me, one of the biggest issues in games and what keeps me from certain styles of games is locked camera angles. It is a roadblock in front of me. I mean, even though this game, its aesthetic, its level design, its puzzles are all there wanting me to solve them, wanting me to just deep pound that pussy in, I cannot do it because of this roadblock. It stands in my way. Now, I gave this game a fair amount of time. I mean, a lot of people will jump into a game, and even I at times will jump into a game, play like 30 minutes of it, be like, this shit isn't for me, and then dip the fuck out, especially when it comes to like bad games. But this game, knowing it's good, knowing its cultural relevance, knowing the fan base, I gave this game a good 3 to 4 hours. And I worked hard, even when I died and forgot that I didn't save and started the whole experience over, which you have seen why this game kind of feels like, this video kind of feels like it's looped over itself, is not because it looped over itself, because I died and had to go back. It's the moments that I was like, I want to undercover this this world. I want to feel up its secrets. I want to get a good groping going. Consensually, of course, my lads, but the game's simple mechanic of its camera stopped me at every sentiment. Now, I have had cameras in the past on third-person style games where the camera's in my way, and it becomes one of the biggest enemies of the game. But it's about learning how to move past that. The problem with me in this style of locked camera angles is it's not about me moving past it. It's about what it does to me personally. Now, when I jump into a game with locked camera angles too, like Devil May Cry isn't quite as bad as this. I will give a pass. I will give Devil May Cry another chance one day. I didn't get as sick in that game, but in this game, especially, I got nauseous from moment one. I mean, I was butt-chugging ginger juice. I was snorting Tylenol, trying to get past the headaches and the nausea this game was inducing on me, to try to fully give this game the experience it deserved, the playthrough it deserved, through what I saw, which quite possibly a masterpiece. But no matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard I dove in, it would not let me. It is a constant bane of this game's experience. Now, I know a lot of you out there have a sentiment and a love for the original series, and you love that camera angles. And when games like Signalis or whatever come out that utilize this old style of camera design, you love it. To me, I feel like it cheapens some of the experience. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by cheapen? A lot of this game has terrifying moments, has terrifying atmosphere, and I love that. I eat that up. And these terrifying moments and great zombie design are scary enough. I do not need to run into a hallway and instantly get attacked because the camera wouldn't show me what was on the other half of the stupid hallway. That is a cheap bullshit gimmick to me. That is a cheap jump scare in a shitty B-movie moment for me personally. I don't feel like it was an actual real scare. It ruined and cheapened what I thought was already a great atmosphere by cheaply throwing some bullshit in my way. And I am not the type of person to sit here and shit on an old mechanic type guy. I will move past it a lot of times. But in this particular case, because of what it does to my mental state and my nausea and my whole body just cannot handle this, it is something I cannot get over. It is a true enemy of me personally as a gamer. Now, when you look at the mechanics of the game, I think that the fact that you can carry a knife, and when you do run in that situation, you can stab the zombie in the head like you saw moments ago, I do appreciate that type of stuff. I don't think the shooting feels that bad. Even though it feels like dated and clunky, it still functions fairly well. I have no problems with the dated combat mechanics at all. I feel like there's something that I can easily comprehend and easily move past. Now, if you put this game in particular onto the old style of gameplay, it's rough. It is really rough. It is annoying, and I do not like it. I props to all those people who played the originals. You are a different type of species, because the original, before the quality of life improvements to the gameplay that the remake did, the old style was rough. Those tank controls on top of bad camera angles, oh man, you are impressive. I cannot do that, sir. Yet, that's almost what Shinji Mikami knew and understood, that he was held back by previous technology, and now he could improve and give a better experience to the gamer, and so he did with the more modernized control setting. What I don't get and what I don't like is why they didn't modernize the camera. It'll always elude me, and why I believe that this game deserves a proper remake. And yes, I know a lot of people are upset with the Resident Evil 3 remake, how it cut tons of content. I personally have not played the game yet. It has been added to Game Pass. I will eventually take a look at it and give it my fair thoughts, even though I will never play the original for a good reference, because I physically cannot. This is the one style of gameplay that I will never be able to play, and that hurts. It sucks to find a genre or a style that will always elude you. No matter how much praise that game gets, you will never like it. And to you, that is shit. It is garbage. It is trash. It will piss you off to a moment. I was sitting there so angry that I couldn't dive into the series and the love of this game. I couldn't fully get there. I can see it. It's a light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel is blocked off by 65 different camera angles that I cannot control. And to that, it's bullshit. It's trash. It's garbage. It's fucking cesspool ridden pulpous zit on your thigh that you can't pop, that you have to take a little needle to break the skin so that you can get that pus out of you. That is what I feel like when I'm playing this game. It is truly terrible. It is god awful. It is the worst thing ever, and I don't understand why anyone would put themselves through the hell of dealing with this crap. It makes absolutely no sense to me. It's absolutely garbage. It's nonsensical. I mean, I could take a GoPro. The camera literally had pustules from herpes pop onto it, covered in crabs from my nutsack, which I don't have. I'd have to go down to Puerto Rico and sit on every toilet seat in the entire, not Puerto Rico, somewhere worse. I don't know. Pick a place that's bad. I don't hate any country, but you can figure one out with your racist instincts. But you figure it out. I put those on the camera as well, and I'd still have a better idea what's going on in the hallways of this game than these cameras are allowing me to see. And that, my friends, is why this game will forever be unfinished. Hell, I probably am going to delete this game off of my Xbox, even though it has steadily remained in my library, downloaded to my system since my Xbox One, and I got it on gold for 6 years now, 8 years now, forever. I just am not going to ever play this game again, so it makes no sense wasting any goddamn storage place on this console. It's time to free that bitch up for bigger and better things. I tell you, there are bigger and better things because this is trash. It's garbage. I've already said that. I've already emphasized that. But if they did decide to remake this game with a proper camera and proper gameplay, I would be there, baby. And I hope for all those big Resident Evil fans out there, if they do remake this, it's with all the original content. Because, like I said, I will never ever root for games to come back out, be remade, and have cut content from them. I find that cringe. But I also find this camera way more cringe. So I'll be there saying, hey man, that sucks. I'm sorry they cut parts of your favorite game. But I will be like, well, at least you got new fans to love what your game brought to the table, at least a portion of it. And that's something I hate about these gatekeepers of games like this, and that's what this comes down to, and that's what drives most of my irritation is all these goddamn gatekeepers who are like, well, if you don't like the game, just don't play it. And it's like, well, was it my fault that I just want a micro penis amount of modernization to make the game goddamn playable for 2020, whatever we're on now? Is that too much to fucking ask? Am I juicing you too hard for a little bit to bring new people to a fandom to see what you loved in the game? To have that same love and passion that you had? I don't believe that it's that much to ask. I see it in the Halo community all the time. They're like, well, Bungie would've, Bungie might've, Bungie can suck my meaty penis. They can rub their nose in a clit. I don't care. I honestly do not care. Because honestly, I feel like 343 has done a damn good job with that series other than Halo 5, but Halo 5's multiplayer was pretty based, so even then, they get some credit, and then I look at what Bungie's doing with Marathon, and I'm like, would they have done better though? Would they, bro? Because Marathon's turning into a crappy extraction shooter way after the extraction shooter craze is dead, so I think you're gonna take the L on that one, old compadre. I don't know, man. This whole situation with this game just put me down some rabbit holes of anger, and I just don't want to be in these rabbit holes. I ain't no Alice in Wonderland. I already reviewed that game, and that game was 27,000 times more playable than this shit, and it was around the same time when they came out, in the 90s. This game came out before, but still fairly similar time frames, and that game's 77 times more fun than this shit because I can actually play it. I don't know how much I have to say it, but that's all I really got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this one's a bit shorter than others, but like I said, I didn't finish the fucker, so I can't fully review it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a like if you didn't like it, dislike the video, subscribe to my channel, you mother lovers. I love you all, and comment. Mean or happy, I don't give a shit. Either way, at the end of the day, it pushes my engagement and it makes me happy. Much love and butterfly kisses to you all. Have a good night.